Are you a filmmaker, producer, director?
My vision, my ideology into motion picture.
Actor? Screenplay writer? Are you an aspiring filmmaker looking to start a career in the movie industry? Do you want to see what happens behind the scenes when you're looking at those movies in your local cinema? Take 101 will take you on a journey of the filmmaking process from concept to reality, from idea to motion picture. Take 101 will bring you, the industry professionals, and take you through the A to Z of the filmmaking process.
Lucille Morgan on Take 101.
A good casting is very important in every movie because just like God himself, God had to take his time to make sure that every characterization is well taken care of, put into consideration before he, bringing us forth. So as a movie producer also, when you get the script and you look at it, it's very, very necessary. It's very important that you also project and also consider the character who plays it in order to give it that very good interpretation. Because we are doing business here. The market is very competitive, so you have to bear in mind that whoever you are casting is loved by people, the viewers. Is very important because you may have a particular person in mind to use, but probably is not really favored by people. So you have to bear in mind that whoever you are bringing in has a prominent face, will be able to sell your movie. That is very necessary. It's basically, I guess, that's the selling point. We have several faces in the movie industry that can interpret roles well. So amongst these people, one can make a choice. But then if you want to probably take a dive, and say, look, this guy is good. Let me give him this opportunity and also believe that with him I can sell. That would be like taking a risk. And of course, you can bear the cost if you can do that. Many have gone through that and they succeeded. Eventually they discovered new stars. Most of the new stars we have today, that was how they were discovered. The basic thing is that any actor you call up is his pleasure to work in the first place because everybody is looking for something to do. So it will be the person's interest. It will be in the person's interest to have you call him. Each time such calls come, you're excited because it's an opportunity for you to work. And then if it's coming from a good stable, in a reputable stable, is also an ad. For example, somebody from some production company you've been admiring, and everybody knows, they are notable. So then it calls you. You're like, wow, man, these people call me. So you're motivated. It's an ad. It's a value for any work you want to do. That's from the mental, realm. Sometimes once you read a script and you come across a character, sometimes it may just ring a bell at once. Say, this character, this guy will fit into it because probably you've seen him or her doing something like that. But sometimes it might not be, but you just figure out this person will do this well, So it might just be a mental thing, But then if it's an audition of course tells you all. Somebody comes on audition ground and probably you test him or her and you see that potential. From there you can pick up and say, this guy is good.
The word of God is living, active, sharper than any double-edged sword.
Kelvin, your policy for integrity and uprightness is everywhere.
I don't know how he does it, but I'm loving it.
Waiting you won't settle, where you know they ever settle finish.
Who bashed my car?
Do you know that he's actually a chartered accountant?
He specifically said I should make sure that you share in this.
I was in the spirit and I saw something. Let us pray.
Why were you late for my lectures?
I needed mending, and you offered to mend me.
Ambition, have you heard? You used to play fair.
Find somewhere park, let me get down.
Sit there and shut your mouth.
Okay, a producer has to bear in mind the fact that if you don't have the right crew, you may run aground. You may run aground in terms of film production because the crew you have determine the success of the movie. They help you to get the best out of the actors. So without the right crew, I tell you the truth, the production will be a total mess. It's part of how proficient, how good the actor is. You may not get the best, out of them if you don't have the right crew working on set, So it is very, very important that you have everyone that you're bringing in know their onions, very necessary. So that way, you have to really make inquiry, find out how good they are, so that when you, as a producer, leave the job on their shoulders, you'll be sure that at the end of the day, they'll give you what you want. How do you determine the right size of the crew you have in mind? Well, it depends on your budget. Well, some may have the money and they want to, like for Costco, foreigners. They have all of the budget. They have all of the financial input, so they can hire first, second, third director and all. But in our own setting, because of financial constraint, we try as much as we can to cut down the size. So you just bring in the very necessary people that you want. Bring in the necessary crew that you want. If they are not necessary, you may not want to bring them because except you have the money to pay them. And at the end of the day, after paying, you still want to sell and make money because it's all about business. You still want to regain and do more. So if it was you just want to do a presentation and at the end of the day, it ends there. But in a setting like this, you need people that, if it is possible, one person can do something to draw a role for you. You can go ahead as long as you get the best. But if you must get everyone involved, go ahead, depending on the budget you have. This time around, I I know in the next movie I ever think about doing, I wouldn't want to get quacks involved. I don't want to get people who are not very, very proficient involved. And then the camera as well, I'll have to be very choosy. These are the things I'm telling myself so that I can have a wide reach. Okay, so it's necessary that you have a good camera. I want to have a good camera, a better camera. In fact, one of the best cameras. I want to bring in a director, another person that can help me. I want to bring in a good cameraman. People that you can leave, responsibilities to, and they can handle it without you doing all of the supervision. All right. From the beginning, you would have made inquiries of how viable, the viability of selling what you have, your product. So before you can, you get that motivation to go ahead. So right now, good thing we have many online platforms one can, experiment, market. So I think basically those are the market out points now that gives people the spunk to go ahead and produce. Because when you finish production, you can still have 1, 2, 3 online platforms that can, if they like the movie, they will take it and pay you. Then we have cinema as well. The cinema then, of course, has its own grade that you have to meet up with. But basically, what provides the motivation now for any movie maker is the online platforms we have these days that are increasing in number, basically. Except in the past that I used to play occultic roles. Those times, now telling myself, I can tell myself I should not have played them then. Yeah, because I'm a new person. Those times I played them because I didn't know what implication they had. But when I became born again, so I realized that no, I didn't need to play them. So right now, anything like that, I won't play. Somebody actually told me, and I really waved it off. Somebody told me that I should be careful the kind of roles I play, and I saw it from this point you're looking at now. I said, come on, you're just trying to teach people. It's not you really, and it wouldn't make any difference. But I realized that as somebody who has changed, it's necessary for you to select the roles you play in movie when you are not the worldly person anymore. It's necessary, even though you're trying to teach people, but so that it will not affect your spiritual life. Yes, it's based on experience, But anybody who is just a go-go can just play any kind of role, nothing. Then I used to play it, but I realized that look, if you say you have changed, it's not the same business. That's to me. Others may not have it the same way I'm feeling, but that's just for me now. I read it through and then try to look at my character. I look at my character and then try to, most times now, what we get is from the phone. So, but I try to go extra mile to print it out so that I can outline mine. So if I outline it, I take some time to internalize them. So internalizing them, then I try to make it be part of me, because it's one thing to just internalize and then another thing to making it be part of you. So that spirit of that character will, come upon you. So that when you get on set, you won't have to be a problem to whoever that is directing. So I take my time at home, depending on how long, sometimes the script may just come today and they tell you to come on set the following day. So you have to juggle and do a lot of things to make sure that you fit into it, which is not the normal way. Sometimes you don't even have any idea of the script. You go on set, they're just giving you the script that day and you're interpreting it. We do that. But I think the best thing is the script coming to you at least 2 weeks before the time, so that within those 2 weeks you can internalize the role, play with it, do all of your homework, so that it will become part of you. You will not, find any area gray. It will help psychologically, and it will also help everybody you're working with, and it builds up your confidence and your boldness as well. By the time you don't have any issue with lines, you're helping everybody. The few casts we managed them well, because they were close to us, so there was no challenge of proximity, so it was easy to call up one person, come on set to shoot, and then the next person is around. So we didn't have the issue of having to wait for any actor to come around, basically because it's like something that we didn't want to involve so many people. So it was easy in terms of management, technically, artistically, financially. We didn't have so much of issue. Yes, it's psychological too. Once you're done with that very project, you're telling yourself it's done. So psychologically, it's done. It's done. It's done. So you exercise it out of you. Psychologically exercise it out of you because it is over. So, for example, if you have another script, looking at another script, another character is now telling yourself, this is another character now that I'm going to put on, and then take off the old one. So as you're taking another character, you're taking off the old one, because this character is not the same with this one. So it's psychological. We've not gotten to that level. In Africa, you do most of the things yourself. Okay, you are the one that will exercise it yourself. Once another character, another movie script comes, you're excited to jump into another movie production, and you are the one that will tell yourself, "Man, this is over. The other one is over. There's a new one. You have to end it." Well, if you call yourself an actor, I guess it should be, because you're in for business. Yes, you're in for business, so you should be able to switch as soon as possible. Yeah, because there are other things awaiting you. Yes, the viewers who are watching me, I am very, very pleased to talk to you, and it is very necessary that you know that every venture has its cost. Every venture has its sacrifice you have to put in before it can get to a very good point, you must have to start from the bottom. You must have to be patient. You must try to make inquiries. You must have to be humble. You must have to follow advice, follow instruction, and climb the ladder, because there's a ladder for every profession. Follow the ladder, 1, 2, 3, and with time, you will get there.